Morning! We've just parked up at Stickle car park down Langdale, where today we're going to do the Langdale Pikes, a slightly different version than the version we did in the winter. We're going to incorporate a couple of more hills, Pavey and Thunacar Knott, and hopefully this time we're going to get down to that axe factory or axe cave. So we're just heading up Stickle now in the direction of Stickle Tarn, and our first hill will be Pavey. Just before you get to Stickle Tarn, you've got to cross the beck and get onto the left hand side of it. Just after that little scramble is where we cross the beck, just up here. As you can see, the pitched path runs out here. This is where we cross. And carry on up the other side. We're just approaching Stickle Tarn. That's Pavey ahead of us. It's quite blowy up here. We're not doing Jack's rake. There's a path runs around the back of Pavey on the right hand side. That's the way we're going to go. There's the dam. We'll head over the dam and take our path around the back of that great big lump of rock in front of us. And there's Stickle Tarn. Head right round the tarn, and just up there on that right hand shoulder of Pavey we're going to start heading up. And then we just head up this hill here on the right hand side of Pavey. Cross the beck just down here and start heading up. Sun's threatening to come out. It's wild though, it's quite a bit of wind. There's the rock star. There's a couple of small scrambly sections just down there we've just passed on the way up the gill. Nothing too difficult. There's also a couple of cairns showing you the way. Just one up here in front of us there. We're not too far from Pavey now. Nice little viewpoint of the tarn. Our final pull is up this gully in front of us here. And here we are, Pavey summit, 700 metres. It's a Wainwright, a Burkitt and a Nuttall. And there's the summit. And there's the tarn below us. We're going to head over the way to Thunacar Knott and then back across to Harrison Stickle. So it's the 30th of June and I really don't know where our summer's gone. It's absolutely Baltic up here. Freezing cold, windy, jackets on, gloves are on, and we're just heading for Thunacar Knott. Well, we're almost there. That's Harrison Stickle over there, that's where we're going next. Thunacar Knott summit, 723 metres. It's a Wainwright, a Burkitt and a Nuttall. We'll take a left at the summit here and then we'll head over to Harrison Stickle and then down to Pike of Stickle, which is just over there. Harrison Stickle, 736 metres. It's a Wainwright, a Burkitt, a Hewitt and a Nuttall. There's the summit cairn. And there's the view down Stickle Gill and Langdale. From the summit of Harrison Stickle, we'll drop down into the Col and head over to Pike of Stickle, just in front of us. So once we've summited Pike of Stickle, we're going to drop back down into this Col between Pike of Stickle and Loft Crag there, and just at the bottom of the Col at this point where I'm stood, we're going to head down there and we're going to go and find that Neolithic Axe Factory. It's a scramble down there, it's a tough old descent. It's certainly on the same kind of level as Doorhead screes, but it's nowhere near as far down. It's a good way down, but it's not too bad. And once we've checked the Axe Factory out, we'll head back up to the Col and then back up to Loft Crag. So I've just run into some Carlisle lads here, Ray, Smiddy and Ali from Carlisle, and it's Ali's final Wainwright. Yeah, Loft Crag. Loft Crag. Brilliant, brilliant.
Thanks to these lads.
Yeah.
They've been there all the way for us. Fantastic.
Fantastic.
Proper mates.
So he's just been up Pike of Stickle, he's dropping down there, and that's his final. Well done, pal.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet you. Nice to meet you.
Videos, lad.
Thank you, mate. Yeah, great to meet you, boys. I forgot to mention there that Loft Crag was Tracy's final Wainwright, my girlfriend, Essex Girl in a Wild. She also has a YouTube channel, and it was also the Rockstar's final Wainwright, wasn't it, Billy? And it was also my final second round of Wainwrights. So brilliant, great hill to finish on, boys. Well done. There's the Rockstar. A bit of a scramble to the summit of Pike of Stickle. Nothing too major. If ever you see me put my sticks away, that's when the scrambling gets major. Pike of Stickle summit, 709 metres. It's a Wainwright, a Burkitt, a Hewitt and a Nuttall. And there's the cairn. And there's the view. I can see Ali and his mates celebrating their 214. They're giving me a wave. We'll head back down off Pike of Stickle the same way. Back in the Col, and we're going to head down this scree chute into the abyss just here. Pick your way down carefully. It's quite a lot of scree, but it's quite big stuff. but it does move. I've been down here twice before and it really doesn't get any easier. In fact, it always seems to get harder. Billy always picks the easy ways though. It's just down there, a bit further. It's not too far, but it really is loose. And there is some big stones in among it, so just be careful you don't send anything big down. So here we have our Neolithic Axe Factory. This place was only discovered in the 1930s. It dates back 3,500, 4,000 BC. He either came up that way or he came down that way. These axes were found all over the UK. Absolutely amazing. All of this was chiselled out by hand. Incredible. Right then, we'll carefully make our way back up that scree chute and head for the summit of Loft Crag. once again he's making it look easy. So that's us nearly back out now, back in the call and on our way to Loft Crag. I can't stress enough how tough that one is. It's definitely not for the faint-hearted. It's a serious descent and ascent back up, very loose, so just be very, very careful if you decide to visit Langdales Axe Factory. That's Loft Crag straight ahead of us. Our last hill of the day, or our last wainwright of the day. Loft Crag summit, 680 metres. It's a wainwright, a Burkitt and a Nuttall. And there's the summit. And there's the view back towards Pike of Stickle. Bowfell's thick in the clag now, and there's a little bit on top of the crinkles. Pike of Blisco's still clear. Behind Pike of Blisco we've got Weatherlam, Great Cars, Wetside Edge. From the summit we're going to drop down into the col and then drop over towards Harrison Stickle and find the path down into Dungeon Gill. Just here we're gonna take a left and head down this path in the direction of Harrison Stickle. And once we're down here we're gonna head over the top of Dungeon Gill, pick that path up below Harrison Stickle, that traverse path just there. Go on. So once you get down here in the col between Loft Crag and Thorn Crag, which is just up there, that's a Burkitt. If you're bagging Burkitts, we're not going to do it today because we did it last time. Once you get to this big cairn, turn left again and head for Harrison Stickle and Dungeon Gill. There's our traverse path, just there. So this is the top of Dungeon Gill. Just a tiny little section to cross, and then we're on that path. And there's Dungeon Gill. Very dramatic. You don't want Knott going down into the gill. I don't think there's any routes up or down the gill. Well, none that I know of. There maybe is. If anyone knows different, please let me know. It's a really nice little traverse path. So the path runs all the way down the side of Dungeon Gill, back into Stickle Gill car park. We've had a massive improvement in the weather. The wind's almost dropped off to nothing. When we set off this morning there wasn't much wind, but by the time we got up to Pavey Arc it was blowing about 35–40 mile an hour. Unbelievable really. The rock eventually turns to grass and it drops us off to this tiny little summit below us called Pike How. It's a lovely little summit. We'll go and have a look. Here we go, Pike How, 396 metres. It's got a lovely little outcrop on the top of it, and it's got a beautiful view down Langdale. There's that nice little outcrop, the summit, and there's the view down Langdale. We're not too far from Stickle car park now, so I'm going to wrap my video up. By the time we get back down, we should be on about 6.5-7 mile. I hope you enjoyed our little detour to Langdales Axe Factory. So yeah, I'll see you next time. It's goodbye from me, and it's goodbye from our lad Billy, the rock star. Starting from Stickle car park in Langdale, we head up Stickle itself in the direction of Stickle Tarn. Once reaching Stickle Tarn, we crossed the dam and then started heading up the back of Pavey to eventually reach the summit of Pavey. From Pavey we crossed over to Thunacar Knott and then back to Harrison Stickle. From Harrison Stickle we crossed over and head up Pike of Stickle. Then head steeply down the scree chute to the Axe Factory. We then head up to the summit of Loft Crag. Dropping down to Dungeon Gill, we then took the traverse path under Harrison Stickle down to Pike How, and then back into the car park at Stickle Gill.